And now to Hurricane Zeta, heading towards the battered Gulf Coast right now. The storm's expected to make landfall tonight as a Category 2 hurricane. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z is in Pass Christian, Mississippi, with the latest on this. Ginger, good morning to you. What's the latest on the timing and the track of this storm?
So we've got about 12 hours, Diane, before this thing makes landfall, and it will be the 5th landfalling storm in Louisiana this season alone, let alone the 11th of the season for the United States. So something we haven't done but twice before in recorded history. So it's really incredible to be back here along the Gulf Coast. I've been in every state, Texas, Louisiana, and Alabama, also Florida, but now Mississippi. And it's because we're anticipating storm surge here on top of the wind. So let me take you through the timing. The storm is still more than 300 miles away, but it is racing toward the coast. So we do anticipate a 5 or 6 p.m.-ish landfall, but we'll see conditions deteriorate after the noon hour as that eye has become more evident and we see it strengthening. We could see a Category 2 hurricane as it makes landfall. So I think New Orleans and that southeastern boot of Louisiana will have some of the worst wind damage right at the coast, but Mississippi, you definitely have to be watching for those winds. All the way through central Alabama, we'll still see tropical storm force winds and gusts up to 60 miles per hour by Birmingham. So on top of it all, you've got the push of water. The good news is this thing moves fast. The bad news is it's very strong and it could see 6 to 9 feet. I was talking to folks that live here. They said anything 0 to 5 feet of surge is kind of a nuisance, but once you get above 5, 6, that's when it can start to do damage and go up and over roads. So we'll be watching for that this evening. We'll also watch for those wind gusts. So here's what I think. I think trees and power lines could easily come down when you see gusts anywhere from 50 to 70 miles per hour. But the problem with this, remember, is the forward trajectory plus the winds within are going to be so strong that you even see gusts of 80 to 100 coming up on this model and close to 60 as far north as Birmingham and even North Georgia. So I think power outages could extend well inland, and I think we should be prepared for that. And rain-wise, I think we'll see the worst of the flood watches extend all the way into western South Carolina and North Carolina as it merges with another system. And that's what you're seeing right there on that map, that high driving it in part, but that big trough that caused all of the ice storm in Oklahoma. You've seen some of those pictures, 300,000 customers without power. It's going to merge together, and the moisture will have enough cold air to bring snow right before Halloween for parts of Massachusetts and Connecticut and New York. Diane.
And Ginger, you mentioned this will be the 11th named storm to make landfall in the U.S. this year, which is highly unusual. What has made this hurricane season so bad?
Yeah, you know, we went right into the Greek alphabet and we are just diving through those numbers. I mean, you remember we had Laura, which was that Cat 4, and you can see the damage from that. Then we had Delta right behind it in southwestern Louisiana. We had Sally that made such an impact on Pensacola, Florida. And now right here in the middle, we ask why? Why this part of our country has been so tortured this year? And a big part of it is just the monsoon in Africa has been very active. So that kicks off the thunderstorms. That's where those things start. Then you've got trade winds and the big high, we call it the Bermuda high, in the exact position, farther west than it sometimes is, to drive these storms into the Gulf of Mexico, so through the Caribbean into the Gulf, and above average water temperatures. That and a little bit of La Nina, it's a recipe for this type of season, Diane.
All right, well, our hearts go out to that area. Hopefully everybody can stay safe. Ginger Z in Pass Christian, Mississippi. Thanks, Ginger.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.